Goldman is now planning for their new analyst class this year to start implementing a rule where now every 3 months they have to, for conflict of interest rules, of course, tell Goldman whether they have already accepted a job offer from elsewhere, whether they've lined up a new opportunity outside the firm, which could potentially present some problems, some headaches. Maybe they're going to be working on a deal for a private equity company that they're about to join, but their bosses don't know that yet. Those are the kinds of headaches that these MDs want to avoid. But obviously, they also just want to make sure that they're keeping their best talent. So at the end of the day, this is also let's just make sure that you're in your seat for a while. They also want the best bankers at Goldman to stay at Goldman, and they want to know that the people they're investing in are going to be there for the long haul, and that they're going to provide the kinds of intelligence, the kinds of networks that Goldman want over the years.
But surely, Todd, there are other ways to do that rather than having somebody swear an oath of allegiance, right? Why don't you just say, here's a pay package that's weighted heavily to later down the road?
Yeah, there are certainly ways of doing that, I'm sure. I mean, I think a lot of the banks have tried these sorts of moves over the years. There's also a limit to how many people they can promote. Obviously, each year, a lot of these young, up-and-coming talent, they want to get big bucks as fast as they possibly can, and they know that private equity is willing to pay bigger pay packets. I did speak to one banker a little while ago who told me, just a couple of months ago actually, and they were saying that a lot of their own private equity clients, their sponsor clients, had told the banks, look, we know we've pissed you off for a few years now. We're gonna ease off, partly because the talent we're getting from you actually isn't as good as we want it to be. Actually, it would do us better. It would serve us better if you train them up for just a little bit longer, maybe 3, 4, 5 years before we poach them, just so that they've learned all the skills that they need. Because a lot of the young folk that they were getting into these PE firms just weren't at the level that they thought they were at, because they were hiring earlier and earlier and earlier, and these people didn't have the experience, hadn't proven themselves and got those skills that they really needed at PE firms.